6 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Kanuz Ashraf. First, the headlines. Federal Cabinet has strongly condemned presidential rule and Indian brutalities in occupied Kashmir. Foreign Minister says dialogue is the only option to resolve all outstanding issues between Pakistan and India. Foreign Office spokesperson has refuted the foreign media news sensitizing the issue of Pakistani women in China. Saudi-led coalition in Yemen has warned collapse of ceasefire in Hodeidah city if rebels continue to violate it. China has termed new U.S. law on Tibet as interference in its internal affairs. Uzbekistan defeated Nepal 6-1 in the International Hockey Open Series in Lahore today. And now the news in detail. Federal Cabinet has strongly condemned presidential rule and Indian brutalities in occupied Kashmir. The Cabinet meeting was held in Islamabad today with Prime Minister Imran Khan in the chair. Briefing media persons about Cabinet meeting, Information Minister Fawad Chaudhry said Prime Minister will talk to the UN Secretary General today about worsening situation in occupied Kashmir. He said Crown Princes of UAE and Saudi Arabia will visit Pakistan next month and in February respectively. The Prime Minister directed the ministries to reduce their foreign visits to the minimum. He said the Cabinet also discussed the prices of medicines in the country. The minister said master plans of major cities of Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa provinces would be prepared, while direction has been issued to prepare master plan for Islamabad. Fawad Hussain said that the cabinet has also given the approval of licenses for some new airliners. He said that we want to ease the visa facilities for foreign journalists and creating more facilities for the tourists visiting Pakistan. Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi says dialogue is the only option to resolve all outstanding issues between Pakistan and India. Responding to a call attention notice, the minister said the Prime Minister immediately after resuming power offered India to come to dialogue table in order to remove illiteracy and poverty from the region. He said Pakistan needs peace at both eastern and western borders. Referring to the cancelled meeting between foreign ministers of both the countries on the sidelines of UN General Assembly session in New York earlier this year, he said India had initially agreed on the meeting but later backtracked due to domestic political compulsions. Foreign Minister said our response was very measured and mature, in which we said Pakistan is willing to engage when they are ready, as engagement is the only solution to our bilateral outstanding issues. Regarding the opening of Kartarpur corridor, he said the gesture by Pakistan was made for peace and fulfillment of the long-standing demand of Sikh community to visit one of their holiest places. Pakistan has urged India to allow the international institutions to probe situation in Indian-occupied Kashmir. At his weekly news briefing in Islamabad today, Foreign Office spokesperson Dr. Mohammad Faisal said India continues with ceasefire violations on the line of control and working boundary to divert the world attention from its unabated atrocities over the innocent people in occupied Kashmir. He called upon India to allow the UN Military Observer Group on India and Pakistan to monitor the situation on line of control and working boundary. Strongly condemning the ongoing killing spree in occupied Kashmir, the spokesperson called upon the international community to take notice of the situation and urged India to stop bloodshed in Kashmir. Responding to a question regarding Pakistani prisoners in Sri Lanka, the spokesperson said 48 prisoners are there who have been convicted and are completing their sentences, and now their verification is being done by Sri Lankan authorities, and prisoners will be repatriated on completion of sentence. He said a conference of diplomats will be held in Islamabad the 27th of this month. The spokesperson also refuted the foreign media news sensitizing the issue of Pakistani women in China. He said there are 44 women, out of which 6 have been repatriated to Pakistan, 3 are under investigation, 23 are free and are living in Xinjiang, and 88 are voluntarily undergoing a training in China. Turkish National Defense Minister Hulusi Akar called on Minister of Defense Production Zubaydah Jalal in Rawalpindi today. They discussed issues of mutual interest, especially the avenues in defense cooperation. Zubaydah Jalal appreciated the policies of Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan on bringing about robust relations between Pakistan and Turkey. The minister thanked Turkish Defense Minister for active participation of Turkish defense industry in recently held Ideas 2018 Expo. She also thanked the Turkish ambassador for the cooperation in the areas of health and education in Balochistan. This is Radio Pakistan. Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Youth Affairs Muhammad Usman Dar held a meeting with Malaysian High Commissioner to Pakistan Ikram bin Muhammad Ibrahim in Islamabad. They discussed avenues of mutual cooperation for youth empowerment through the promotion of technical and vocational training. Ikram bin Muhammad Ibrahim briefed him on youth affairs on various initiatives his government is taking for the socio-economic development of youth in Malaysia. He appreciated the vision of Pakistani government for the uplift and empowerment of its youth, which comprises 64% of the population. He expressed the hope that both the countries can work together for exploring various avenues for socio-economic empowerment of Pakistani youth. He conveyed his commitment for offering scholarships to Pakistani students in Malaysian universities. Usman Dar thanked the High Commissioner for his country's interest in working with the Pakistani government for the empowerment of youth. The steel cutting ceremony of warship for Pakistan Navy was held in Shanghai, China. According to spokesman of Pak Navy, officials of Pakistan Navy and Chinese shipyard attended the ceremony. Speaking on the occasion, Vice Admiral Kaleem Shaukat said the ship is equipped with destructive weapons and latest technology. In occupied Kashmir, complete shutdown is being observed on the 6th consecutive day in Pulwama town to mourn the killings of 10 youth by Indian troops. The youth were killed during a cordon and search operation and by opening fire on peaceful protesters in Sarnu area of Pulwama district on Saturday. All shops and other business establishments, colleges and coaching centers are closed in the town, while almost all roads in the town are empty as traffic remains off the road. In Yemen, Saudi-led coalition backing the government has warned that a hard-won ceasefire in Hodeidah city will collapse if rebel violations persist and the United Nations does not intervene. Talking to a foreign news agency, a coalition source complained of repeated rebel breaches since the truce went into effect, saying a total of 21 violations since ceasefire commencement have come to their notice. China has strongly denounced the United States for passing a new law on Tibet. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Hu Xiaoyang told a daily news briefing in Beijing today that Tibet is an internal affair and it would harm China-US relations if the law is implemented. Hu urged the United States to stop its interference, otherwise the Washington would have to accept responsibility for the consequences. Uzbekistan defeated Nepal 6-1 in the International Hockey Open Series at National Hockey Stadium in Lahore today. And finally, the weather report. Mainly cold and dry weather is expected in most parts of the country during the next 12 hours. Moderate and shallow foggy conditions are likely to continue in few central and southern parts of Punjab and Peshawar division during morning and night hours. To end the news headlines once again. Federal Cabinet has strongly condemned presidential rule and Indian brutalities in occupied Kashmir. Foreign Minister says dialogue is the only option to resolve all outstanding issues between Pakistan and India. Foreign Office spokesperson has refuted the foreign media news sensitizing the issue of Pakistani women in China. Saudi-led coalition in Yemen has warned collapse of ceasefire in Hodeidah city if rebels continue to violate it. China has termed new US law in Tibet as interference in its internal affairs. Uzbekistan defeated Nepal 6-1 in the International Hockey Open Series in Lahore today. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live video streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com Radio Pakistan News Official.